it's interesting to see the leaks and see the conspiracy theory in action, because I was told by Twitter that there is no censorship. It's just my brain running on the culture war, and there's nothing happening. Companies aren't actually trying to censor the design. In fact, most corporations, especially in America, are bastions of creativity. Like, if you're an artist with a soul and you just want to create something amazing, you go to one of these corporations like Bethesda or Blizzard, and they allow you to do whatever you want. Right? There is absolutely no internal censorship. This is just some grifters on YouTube that are talking about this nonsense. Consultancy and diversity people, they're not censoring art. They're basically not doing anything and getting paid tens of thousands of dollars at these companies. And again, it's just a grift. It's just YouTubers complaining in the ether. And people just listen to them because the YouTubers are hypnotizing them like the snake cow was hypnotizing Mowgli. Meanwhile, we got the Pokemon leaks, and we get to see the fascinating censorship from a Japanese company. Like, unfortunately, we do not get to see Western companies censoring, and the Japanese are very bizarre because, like, they're struggling to understand what the fuck do Americans want, but they don't really have the ideology. Like, it's not baked in there, and with woke ideology, a lot of things they say, but they don't really mean it, while other things they don't say and they mean it. So, here's an example, right? Regarding religion. The rosary he is holding has a strong religious meaning. The woke don't give a fuck about Christianity. Like, if you make a game that's mocking and ridiculing Christianity, none of the diversity officers are going to have a problem with it. But if you do the same for Islam or any other religion, then they freak out. So, you know, when the woke say, oh, we need to be respectful of people's religion, minus Christianity. Like, you can have rosary beads, you can have crucifix, you can have all of this shit, Japan. None of the fat, morbidly manifestations of creatures that are the HR hags are going to complain about you having a rosary bead, right? But if you have a burqa, well, that's a different story, right? And if you draw, holy shit. Okay? Right? So, this was interesting. The second one, it's the strong religious meaning of praying together. I don't really know what this is. People are mocking it, saying that it's a Protestant on the right and an Orthodox on the left, or a Catholic. But here we go to the removal of sensuality, right? Like, femininity is banned from AAA. All female characters need to have masculine jawlines, broad shoulders, masculine features, obnoxious personalities, because otherwise we allow the Kumar to do the Kumarism, and that cannot happen. Like, we need to live in a society where people do not kum at video games. That is abhorrent, that is disgusting, vile. People need to go on OnlyFans and Twitch to satisfy their needs, or transition and then get the male fan service, because masculine fan service is in every single video game. You get to see men shirtless, you get to see LGBT paraphernalia just flooded into every single video game, but any type of sensuality, any type of femininity is verboten. Nein, it's nicht good, right? So winking is a problem. Now, what I also notice is that there's obsession against cuteness, right? Like, if you look at the characters that are diverse, like Concord, you know, rich with that pure American diversity that comes from Joe Biden's anus, none of them are cute. They usually associate cute with youth, and if a character looks younger than 45, you're a pedophile. Like, this is what Twitter believes. Again, these gaming companies live from internet culture. Like, they don't just go outside to talk with people. They don't look at the shows that existed in the 90s or the early 2000s. Like, none of that matters. They create these artificial and bizarre categories, and then they enforce them, right? So nothing cute, winking, hugely problematic. Problem with holding a cigarette. I actually understand this. Like, this one actually makes sense. See, I didn't know until I was a game developer, because I thought it's horseshit. But no, if you want to get good ESRB ratings, which I assume that Pokemon is attempting, you need to make sure that there's no alcohol, there's no cigarettes, there's no references to drugs, because various countries have, like, different preferences. And while in some you can get away with it, in others not so much. So like if it's a kids game like Pokemon, you're not allowed to have cigarettes. This is not the company or this is not Twitter, you know, like they're not trying to please some activists. It's literally part of legislation. Like the government tells you if you want to sell your game here and you want to appeal to a wide audience, well, you actually need to not have cigarettes. You need. Usually what Japan is doing, I saw this in Street Fighter and I saw in other video games, they just call it herbal medicine. It's not alcohol, it's herbal medicine. So, that's what they're doing. Exposing too much skin and winking. Like, again, nothing cute, and you're not allowed to show skin. Literally what women like to do, you know? Like if I go outside, like, I don't know how the United States is. Like, maybe it's different in California, yeah? Like, in San Francisco, like, people have to dress up so they don't step in shit. But in the real world, like, women like to dress in a sexy manner, right? I'm not asking for them to look like strippers. Like, obviously not every single female character needs to look like Stellar Blade. But you notice that the male characters, right, they're buffed, they look like Kratos, and all the women, they have to dress all the way up. Now, the thing with dressing up shows to me that Japan is still stuck in 2016 era, because that's how it started with the video games, right? It's like, first they dress them up, and then they make them look like men, right? Because even dressed up, they realize that someone out there may still goon, and any heteronormative thoughts are a crime against woke ideology. They're a crime against American academia. They're a crime against Kamala Harris and the Democrats. So they have to dress them up, right? And eventually just flat out turn them into men. So here you go. You know, the censorship that doesn't happen. None of it is ridiculous. None of it is bizarre. And what I find interesting is when you have this type of censorship in AAA games, obviously more exaggerated than this, they say, oh, why do you care? Why does it matter? And then when you put it on Nexus mods, and the people on Nexus mods freak out about it, like for instance, they're freaking out about the changes for that chick in Silent Hill, all the people that are asking why do you care, they're not asking the Nexus mods why they care, right? Like, the Nexus mods are beyond reproach. For some reason, the individuals that are confused about careness just stop existing. You know? It's very fascinating. I don't know how long this shit will last, but what I do know is that the European Union is forcing companies to show their ESG scores. So, like, gaming companies that want to do business with the EU will probably have to show the ESG metrics, which means that this shit is going to go on artificially. Like, there is no market for it. No one gives a fuck about these changes, except the one with the cigarette, which is like, okay. But other than that, like, people don't want this. Well, like, there's nothing wrong with these characters, right? Like, there's nothing wrong with winking. There's nothing wrong with a woman having a miniskirt. Like, come on, I used to be in high school, and my female classmates were having even more revealing attire than this. Like, this is beyond ridiculous. Again, like, no one is saying that they should look like strippers. No one is saying that they should look like Stellar Blade. But, like, if one character was designed having a miniskirt, like, come on. The fuck? Like, she's not showing panties. Like, it's not a fan service. She's not having massive boobs and a cleavage. It's like, no, she's wearing a miniskirt. I wouldn't even think about it if they didn't bring it up. It wouldn't even cross my mind that it's a problem. Like, not for a second I would even question it. But they're the ones that brought it up, and yes, like, winking is a problem. I love the fact that they don't even explain why it's a problem. They just state it. It's like, it's a problem. Because it's like such a retarded concept that even they can't explain what it is. So let me know what you guys think. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.